Hey everyone, welcome back to the Murphy Table Project. I know it's been a while, like 3 months. I apologize for that. I'm sure many of you know the feeling of getting a project 80% completed, but then squeaking out that final 20% is so much harder. Regardless, we're here, and we're getting this thing done. So if you're coming from part 1, which I recommend you watch first before this video, we left off with doing a dry fit of the cabinet. We're doing the final cuts needed for the cabinet here, a few holes for wiring, and some cutouts for electrical boxes. I feel bad for saying this, but this Ryobi jigsaw is absolute trash. Worst 40 bucks I've ever spent on a tool. It doesn't cut straight, doing any curves like you see here just makes the blade pop out. So if you're thinking of getting a jigsaw, don't get this one. Unless I'm doing something terribly wrong. Let me know in the comments if I am. Now that we're routing a chamfer along the cabinet's edges, you may recognize this corner from part 1, where I stupidly dropped one of the boards and chipped the corner. I'm just using some UV resin to fill in that crack and then sanding it smooth again. This piece will be painted later, so not a huge deal to use resin to fix it. Here's a random woodworking tip for when you're using a router. The right hand rule. Premise, there is a correct direction you need to run the router. And a way to figure that out, or remember it by, is the right hand rule. So what you do is you make an L with your thumb and index finger. Put your thumb on the side of where you want to do the routing, and your index finger will point in the direction that you need to do the routing. Same thing for if I was routing a circle on the inside. Imagine a cutout here. I would put my thumb on the inside of that cutout, and my index finger would point that on the inside I need to go in a clockwise rotation, but on the outside I need to go in a counterclockwise rotation. Woodworking tip of the day. So I need to pick up a switch, an outlet, and some wires. So oh, we're here. Ooh. Ooh, USB. Here's what we got from the home of the pot. Got a couple, what are these things called again? I don't know what anything calls. Electrical boxes to put the outlets and the switches and stuff. I got an outlet, gonna go in there, and got 2 different types of covers. I don't know why I got 2 different types. I should have just gone the same one. There, and a dimmer switch. Boom. Got 2 15-foot long extension cables that I'm just gonna hack and slice together as need be, and wire connections for my hacking and slashing, whatever I do to it. So, what's with all the electrical components, you may ask? Let me show you. Electrical box number 1, outlet. We're looking at the bottom of the cabinet here. The idea is to put this at the bottom of the cabinet, such that when the table is down, if you can think of it from this direction, when the table's down, this outlet will be underneath. Therefore, when I'm working on the table, I have access to an outlet right there, very convenient and close by, and keep the wires hopefully out of the way so they're not strung all over the floor. Part number 2 is this dimmer switch. It's going to go on the side of the cabinet here, and the purpose for that is that on the top of this cabinet, you haven't seen it yet in this video, there's going to be a light fixture. And so this switch is going to control the light switcher. Light switcher, light fixture.
So now that we've covered what's going on, what I'm doing here is actually testing out the circuit. The power needs to pass through the outlet to the switch and then to the lights. You're seeing a sped up version here, but this took me quite a while to figure out. The reason being is that the switch has a mode for what's called a three-way switch. I'm sure you've seen one before. It's where you can turn the lights on at one end of a hallway and turn them off at the other end. So I was getting some of the wires confused, and I used the three-way switch wire rather than the standard switch one. We figured it out in the end though. So I picked up this paint sprayer from Facebook Marketplace, and I've never used one before. So I'm just gonna fill the container with water and just try it out just to get the feel for it. And then we'll move on to some paint and see how that goes. So what you're about to see me do is that I took the longboards that I sprayed yesterday and sanding them back down to 320 grit. The idea is that I'll slowly build up the layers of paint, and at the end it should get a really smooth finish. That's the hope, at least. Oh, and also, something I should have done before I painted it the first time was tape off where there's going to be glue, such that the glue actually has something to bond to. So I sand that down a bit as well and add the tape, such that further layers, won't get paint where there needs to be glue. Okay, it's time. There's no turning back now. We're here, everything's painted as need be. We're at the glue up stage. So now is when we commit. Let's get to it. I didn't realize until after the fact that my camera stopped recording halfway through the glue up. So the glue up happened, relatively uneventful, a little bit stressful trying to get all the clamps into place, but as you can see, it's here now. It's gonna go on this wall right here. It's in my office. So we're gonna start getting to work on the next steps here. Okay, I'm gonna focus on installing this guy. Yeah. It's gonna go right there. It's a little bit warped, but I think with enough persuasion it should be fine. I wanted to point out one thing to you before I forgot. because I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering this whole time, Connor, how are you going to actually hold the table up against the wall without it just, folding back down? And I will show you right now. This thing. This little pin is gonna be hopefully enough to hold the table up. It's a spring-loaded pin that comes out when I pull this. So I'm going to drill a tiny little hole on the side of the table once I get it in place. And then this should, slot into that hole when it's ready to go. And then we should be good to go. Thanks for joining. So I got these beefy screws. That should hopefully be enough to hold the weight of this thing. So I'm going to drill some holes through the French cleat. Into the wall where the studs are. So here I'm just using my stud finder to mark the left and right side of the studs so I know where I can drill. Then I transfer those marks onto the French cleat so I know where to drill holes for the screws. Once those holes are drilled, I can secure the cleat in place on the wall. Three more. Well, this is an instance where we're finding out that the it's not square. Well then let's just split the difference into the middle as best as possible, and we'll hope for the best.
Okay.
We have a wee bit of a problem. So because the frame wasn't perfectly square, this butcher block is not sitting parallel to the frame. It is slightly skewed to the left. And the reason that's a problem, let me show you. The reason that this is a problem, that it is skewing to the left, is because of that pin. I have this pin on the right, and the idea for the pin is to index into there. But as you can see, there's barely any wiggle room left for it. So that is a problem that is going to need to be solved. I will have to think about that for a bit. Okay, I think I figured out a solution to this problem. I think the answer is shims. So what we're going to do is add a shim under here, and hopefully it'll start convincing it to shift more to the right again. So let's give that a try. Now the question is, did I shim it too much? Oh, it's not rubbing. We like what we see. Good show. Jolly good show, mate. Jolly good show. Winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh, that's gonna be sexy. That's gonna be so sexy. Look at that, isn't that badass? Oh, I'm getting so pumped. Yes. We're not done yet. Let's still gonna make legs. And we gotta route the power. Add the switch on the side here, and the outlet on the bottom. Route the power. Then we should be good. Okay, so we got our switch hooked up, power, boom. That is supposed to be off. Oh wait, unless this is upside down. Yes, that is upside down. Okay. Thought I hooked it up wrong, but no, it's off, power on, dim it all the way, light it all the way. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. That is exactly what I wanted to happen for this thing, so sweet! Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so now what's next is I'm gonna take this cable, and I should have done this before, but I need to route it this side of the box down to here, where there will be the plug on that side. So I am going to do that right now. I just did something insanely stupid. And I kind of wish I had a recording when I did this. But I was measuring how much wire I needed after hooking up this thing. And when I thought, okay, I know how much wire I need, I took my clippers and I snipped it. What didn't I do before I did that? I forgot to unplug the damn cord. So thank goodness for rubber handles and insulated wire, because when I clipped it, boom, big spark. That, whew, I'm a bit shaky still from that. Don't be an idiot when doing electricity. You could kill yourself. So I got lucky that time. I'm gonna just try and be very careful for the remainder of this, because, ha! So here we are, probably, I think it's like been a month since the last time I recorded anything about this project. But last time you saw me, I was making these legs. Actually, this is the third attempt at making the legs because they just kept not being right, and I was too frustrated to record any of that footage of me trying to get the old versions to work. But this version does work, and I've actually been using the Murphy table for a while, and finally I'm getting around to painting these legs, because that's one of the final steps to this project. I gotta paint these, sand them up, finish them, and then a few more shelves, and then I can finally take some grand reveal shots and finish up this project, because I know some of you have been waiting for it, and so we're finally getting it done. Thanks for sticking around this whole time. I know it's been like 10 seconds for you, but this has been many months for me of working on it. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching.
there it is, the Murphy table. It's a really fun project, challenged me in a lot of ways, but I'm looking forward to moving on to the next thing, and I'm going to bring you all along. If you liked what you saw here, I really hope that you'd subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace out.